Assalamu alaikum, second grade. How are you today? Our lesson today will be about comparing and ordering fractions. We need to know how can we compare two fractions together or more, and then after that we need to know how can we order group of fractions together. Okay, the first thing we need to ask ourselves, how can we compare fractions? How can we compare fractions? We have two rules. The first rule is we need to make sure that the denominators for both fractions are the same. So first step is to make sure that all the denominators or both denominators are the same, so you can make these comparing between these two fractions. If not, we need to do some equations to make them equal, but this thing that you will learn in the third grade. Okay, so now I will give you some fractions with equal denominators so you can make the comparison. Otherwise, we cannot compare. Okay, so we're not allowed to compare any two fractions till we make sure that the denominators are the same. Number two, comparing, we need to look at the numerator. The fraction with the bigger numerator will be the biggest. So the bigger numerator is the biggest, okay? The biggest fractions. Excellent. So now we need to compare two fractions to show you how can we compare two fractions together. The perfect way to compare the fractions is to draw the fractions. So to make it clear for you, I will draw some examples first. Then after that, you can compare easily without these pictures. Okay, I will have here two circles. I shaded some parts of them. I shaded the three parts of the first circle, and the second one we have two parts. Okay, so from the first look, you can tell easily that the first circle with 3/4 is bigger than the second one, which is 2/4. Okay, so you can easily say that the first circle is bigger than the second circle. Okay, so from the first time you need to look at the pictures, but after that you can tell easily just by looking at the numerator. So first step, we need to make sure that these shapes are the same. The denominators are the same. The denominator should be equal. Then after that, we look at the numerator. If the numerator, the shaded pieces, bigger than the other, so it will be the biggest fractions. Okay? Okay, let's take another look. So the perfect way is to look at the picture. But if you have fractions here, I have 2/6 and I have 4/6. As you see here, we have the same denominators. We have 6 denominators in all, 6 pieces in all. The first denominator for the first fraction, and the second one it is 6 too. Okay, now I want to make the comparison between them. I want to compare which one of them is the biggest. So I will draw some pictures to make it more clear for you. I draw this picture for the first fraction. I have 2 pieces shaded out of 6 pieces. The second one, I draw 6 pieces and I shaded 4 pieces, and as you can see easily by looking at this picture, that the second one is bigger. We shaded more pieces, so it's bigger than 2/6. So 4/6 is bigger than 2/6. Okay, next we need to compare the following fraction. I have more exercises since now on. We don't need to do the pictures. Okay, so we don't need to look at the pictures, but now I want to make it on the number line. I want to show it to you on the number line so you can make sure that all the comparing idea is clear for you. Now look at the first fraction. It's 3/8 and 5/8. Okay, so 3/8 and 5/8, 3 pieces out of 8 and 5 pieces out of 8. Now on the number line, I want to draw the number line for the first one. I'm still behind 1 because I am taking part of whole. So 3 pieces out of 8. So I cut the way from 0 to 1 into 8 equal parts. So I cut the way into 8 equal parts. Okay, each one I need now for the first one, I need to make 3 jumps. Okay, I will do the first one. 1, 2 jumps and 3 jumps. So here will be my fraction. Here will be 3/8. The next one, I will draw the number line for the next fraction. I also cut the way from 0 to 1 into 8 equal parts, and I will do now 5 jumps. I will do 1 jump, 2 jumps, 3, 4 and 5. So here will be my fraction, 5/5. Okay, so now when you look at the number line, when you look at the number of jumps and the number of jumps shows the number of the numerator. What is the numerator? And the number of pieces in all, it's the denominator. Okay, so the denominators are the same. So we look at the numerator. Which numerator is the biggest? We have 5/5, so we can say that 5/5 is bigger than 3/8. Okay, next. We have more exercises so you can understand it more. Since now on we don't need to draw some more pictures. You just look at the numerator after you make sure that the denominators are the same. So the first one, we compare the following fractions. You need to compare between 3/4 and 1/4. The denominators are the same. Look at the numerator. Which numerator is the biggest? It's a 3, so 3 is bigger than 3/4 is bigger than 1/4. 3 pieces out of 4 is bigger than 1 piece out of 4. Next one, 13 out of 15 or 9 out of 15. Equal denominators. Which numerator is the biggest? 13. So 13 is bigger than 9. Okay, next I have half or 2 out of 2. The denominators are the same. I have 2 more than 1. Excellent. Next exercise. I have 7/10 or 4/10. I have the same denominator. I do 7 more than 4. Next one. 2 out of 9, 5 out of 9. Equal denominator? Yes, equal denominators. So we look at the numerator. The numerator 5 or 2. 5 is bigger than 2. Next, I have 1/5 or 2/5. Which one is the biggest? We have the same denominators, so I have 1/5 is less than 2, so 2 is the biggest here. Okay, perfect. Now after I do all the comparing, I need to know how can I order the fractions. Ordering fractions depend on one thing. So we need, how can we order the fractions? We need to compare them first. If you know how to compare the fractions, you can easily order the fractions. Now, we need to make sure that all the denominators are the same. So the first rule for all ordering or comparing, it's to make sure that the denominators are the same. Then after that, we compare the numerators together to find the correct order for the fractions. So you look at the answer for the question first. Order the following fractions from the smallest. So our first point will be the smallest. I will choose the smallest first. I have this group of fractions. First rule, we need to make sure that all the denominators are the same. Yes, they are the same. We have 8, 8, 8, 8. And so all of them are the same. The next one, we need to compare them or order them starting from the smallest. Okay, which one of them has the smallest numerator? 1, 4, 5, or 3? Yes, it's 1/8. So 1/8, it's the smallest. So I erase 1/8. Next, which one is the smallest? 5/8, 3/8, or 4/8? It's 3/8. Excellent. So now I have 2, 4/8 and 5/8. Which one is the smallest? So each time I need to ask myself, which one is the smallest? 4/8 is smaller than 5/8. Excellent. So next, and the last one is the 5/8. So it will be the biggest because it's the last one. Okay, so this is how can we order the fractions. So we need to make sure all the denominators are the same. Then after that, we compare them one by one to find the correct order, starting from the smallest. And each time we need to ask ourselves which one of them is the smallest fraction. Okay, perfect. Now, I need to do some more exercises so you can understand more the idea of ordering fractions. Order the following fractions from the smallest. So we're starting our ordering from the smallest too. Or I can ask you from the biggest. That's fine. I have all these bunch of fractions. We need to order them. The first one, the second one, and the third one. And we start our comparing from the smallest. So make sure that all your denominators are the same. Perfect. So now I can compare between all the numerator. Which numerator is the smallest? I have 2. So 2/10 is the first one. Next comes 5/10, then 8/10, then 9/10. Perfect. The second one, make sure all the denominators are the same. Yes, they are. Then I will ask myself, which numerator is the smallest? It's 2/16. Then after that, 5. Then 8. Then after that, 10. Next exercise. Okay, I have the same denominators. They all have the same denominator. It's 5. Then you compare the numerator. I have 1/5 first, then 3/5, 4/5, and 5/5. Okay, perfect. So that's it for today. Thank you for your